Sonny Rollins is a prolific American tenor sax player and band leader as a jazz musician. He has played with some important people like Miles Davis, although I'm getting the feeling that Miles Davis has played with everybody in the jazz world. His career spanned from 1947 to 2014, when he, unusually for a jazz musician, retired. He has over 100 albums as leader, and he is much studied and strongly regarded. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is an album of instrumental small band jazz. It's my first time listening to it, and it's hard bop again. I say again because a lot of the jazz albums that I've reviewed on this channel have been labelled as hard bop. I'm slowly getting an idea of what that means. Generally, it means small band instrumental jazz, um, but with a certain kind of level of freedom to it. So, jazz obviously has got a long history, and through that history, particularly kind of towards the 50s and the 60s, there was all this move towards freedom in jazz, eventually coming to the idea of free jazz. There was the invention of modal jazz at some point in that. And hard bop was kind of, I think, the precursor to this, in that the adherence to a strict set of musical rules was being broken down at this point. Anyway, this is my first time listening to this. I've just said that. We've got a tenor sax, and we've got upright bass, drums, and piano, and from names that I don't know. The more of these reviews that I do, the more of these names I actually start to know. So apparently, this album is important because of the title track, which is the first track on the album, which is the only known recording that features both Sonny Rollins and John Coltrane. Now they're both on tenor sax, so having been told that, and having been told that there's a difference in the tones, I can just about pick out that. Well, I could work out that there were two of them. I maybe could pick out which was which. A real jazz buff would go, "Oh, of course, this is John Coltrane," and they'd say it's obvious who's who. My ear isn't that good, so I would describe this as having sections of tunefulness and then typical jazz wandering stuff in between. So a few jazz albums ago, I kind of made a commitment to myself and maybe to you as my viewership of the channel. Hi, viewers. That I was going to, with jazz albums, because I'm not a jazz expert, and so I can't really do a good job of delving into the technicalities of what's going on. But the question I should ask is, how does this album make me feel? How much did I enjoy it? And I guess that's what I tend to answer with other albums anyway. And for some reason, I seem to be not doing it so much for jazz. So I'm trying to do that. How did it make me feel? Well, I felt like it was good playing and all, but it kind of went past my ears without making a lot of impact. Kind of went, and then it was kind of gone. So it was okay for half an hour of jazz, fair enough as background jazz, but it didn't strike me particularly as something of particular quality or interest. Again, I would say somebody who really knows what they're talking about in jazz will maybe contradict me on that, and that's absolutely fine. Um, I'm doing this obviously as a layman in terms of jazz. So maybe this is one that you have to be a jazz buff to appreciate. Maybe actually it's only on this list because of the John Coltrane thing. So my feeling was a bit kind of, it didn't really have much of a reaction, a bit meh. Um, so yeah, that's what I think of this album. As always, I'd love you to tell me what you think of this album. I tend to get more comments on jazz albums about the people rather than about the music. So, either way, that's fine with me. The next review that's going to be coming up on this channel is going to be a new release review, which is going to be of Moon Music by Coldplay. And that's it from me for now.